Hi, I'm Deborah Price from Boulder County Parks and Open Space, and we're here today at Batasso Preserve. Brr, it's winter, and when it gets to be winter, it gets to be cold weather. How do you stay warm in the winter? Do you bundle up and try to stay warm with coats and scarves and hats? Or do you maybe just stay inside your house and not want to go anywhere and stay warm? Maybe you even pick up a suitcase, pack your bags, and travel somewhere where it's a lot warmer and try to stay warm until spring comes. Well, wildlife do a lot of the same things in similar and sometimes a little different ways. So let's explore and see how wildlife get through winter.
My name's Larry Colbinson, and I'm with Boulder County Parks and Open Space. Winter means lots of cold weather and a lack of food. Fortunately, nature has come up with different ways for animals to survive winter. The three main ways that animals survive winter are migration, hibernation, and toleration. So let's see how all of these different strategies work.
I bet some of you have grandparents or parents who travel to Arizona or Texas during the winter. That's part of what we call migration, the big move. Animals do that too. Sometimes it's nice to think about going somewhere warmer, but it also means there's more food. When there's snow on the ground, it's hard to find things to eat. So when you migrate to somewhere warmer, it's easier to find food. Canada geese are everywhere. You probably see them in your neighborhood or at parks and other places. Well, this time of year, you might hear the honk, honk, honk of geese as they're flapping their wings and flying over your head in big V shapes, heading south, trying to find warmer locations, or maybe a nice little pond to find some refuge. A lot of little birds like sparrows and warblers actually migrate at night. It's safer for them because other predatory birds aren't around. They're sleeping. So it's safe for those little birds to fly at night. But whether they're flying in the day or night, they're all migrating and looking for a warmer place to find food. Some insects migrate also. The monarch butterfly is truly an amazing migrator. This tiny little insect flies all the way to Mexico to lay its eggs. But even more amazing is that the caterpillars that hatch and turn into butterflies are the ones that come back. Butterflies have an amazing way of communicating that we don't even understand. Not all animals migrate north and south. Some, like the Rocky Mountain elk that have these huge antlers, migrate in elevation. They go up and down the mountain. During winter, elk come down from the mountains to find food and shelter on the plains. They can often be seen crossing Highway 36 north of Boulder and on many open spaces and private properties along the Front Range of Colorado, which was their winter home range long before people populated this area. When spring and summer come, they'll go back to higher elevations to find fresh grass and cooler temperatures.
Winter means shorter days and a lot more darkness. It sure is easy to sleep a lot more in the winter. For some animals, sleeping through the winter is the best way to survive. It's called hibernation, the big sleep. Bears find cozy places to hibernate, under rocks, in caves, and under trees. Black bears may wake up briefly during hibernation, but they don't eat or drink until springtime. And mama bears even give birth to their cubs while they're asleep. Amazing. Some tree squirrels are active all winter, but small ground squirrels like these guys hibernate. They dig burrows and build nests of grass and leaves and sleep away the winter. Their cousins, the chipmunks, don't hibernate, but they nap a lot in the winter. They may wake up, occasionally have some food, and go back to sleep. Turtles have a very cool way of surviving the winter. They hibernate buried in mud at the bottom of a pond. How do they breathe underwater? Could you hold your breath all winter? I sure couldn't. but turtles are able to actually breathe through their skin to get the oxygen they need to survive the winter.
Sometimes you just have to deal with winter. We do that by putting on coats, trying to stay warm, or maybe staying inside a little more. You just have to learn how to tolerate the cold.
Some animals don't migrate or hibernate. They are active all winter. This survival technique is called toleration. So let's look at some animals and see how different animals tolerate the winter.
I love this cute little guy. This is a pika. Pikas are related to rabbits. If you cover up their little tiny ear, you can imagine they look like a rabbit. And just like rabbits, pikas don't hibernate. The difference is that pikas live high in the mountains, way above tree line where it gets very, very cold in the winter. So they have just a very short time in the summer to gather all the food they need. So they spend all this time, they gather her vegetation and plants and make a big hay pile and stick it in the rocks. So when winter comes, they have something to eat. It's like having a big pantry so you don't have to go to the grocery store.
Coyotes grow thicker fur in the fall so they can stay warm all winter. Coyotes will eat just about anything, but they are carnivores, so they like to eat mice and small rodents that they can find in the winter. Coyotes have very good hearing, so they can even hear mice and other animals under the snow. When they're hunting in the wintertime, they will listen very carefully, and when they hear something moving under the snow, they'll take a big pounce and come up with a meal. A good strategy for surviving the winter. Ptarmigan are small birds that live high in the mountains where the pikas live. They have several adaptations to survive winter. In the summer, their feathers look like this, so they blend into the landscape so predators can't see them. In the winter, they grow white feathers, so they still blend in. Ptarmigan spend most of the winter under the snow, where it blankets them like a warm coat to help them stay warm. They also have feathers between their toes, which help them walk on the snow like they have snowshoes on. And they have feathers around their nose, which warms the air they breathe. Ptarmigan have really found an amazing way to survive winter. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you enjoyed learning about wildlife in winter. We also hope you get out and explore winter and have fun in the snow with your family.
We hope you stay warm this winter, whether you're migrating somewhere, tolerating the snow, or hibernating through a cold winter night. We'll see you this spring.